Hallo, mijn naam is Gabriel Ndijken of the Charity Medical Foundation and International Trade Incorporated. Pretty much is CMFIT Global Consulting Company for medical, pharmaceutical and innovative technology. Mon nom est Gabriel Ndijken de la Charité Médicale Fondation et le Commerce International. En bref, c'est la CMFIT globale, consultation globale pour le domaine médical, pharmaceutique et la technologie innovative. Again, to all my friend, Esther Gabriel Ndijken of the Charité Medical Foundation. Guten Tag, guten Morgen, good morning, bonjour to many people around the world. This point is kind of late here, but some people are waking up in the morning over there. I'm a late worker guy. That's the way, science, scientific people do the work. They always do the work in later time because that's where you get more inspiration. You're more inspired of doing good stuff. So that's the reason why. So I can say, I lift my eyes open into the sky so I can see the star. I lift my head, looking at the star so I can see the stars. I turn my head so I can see the angel, got them in my soul. I look at you, so you can listen for the message of the truth. So I'm talking today about the truth. The title of my presentation will be The Power of the Unknown. The power of the unknown, as I mentioned before, everything I say here is all about the truth, nothing but the truth, in accordance to the principle and divine covenant that I have with the Holy Mighty Elohim Yahweh. My inspiration is divine to spiritual path in which cannot be visualized by optical eyes. Alright, I communicate with beings in a different way in accordance to God's instruction. Now, I'm not a prophet, I'm not a Messiah, I am a nobody according to human visualization. I am like anyone else, loved by God according to his divine plan. But my mission is to bring the truth to all human beings. I will have more duty and more responsibility to carry for tomorrow's purpose. And I want people to make sure that they listen carefully about what I got to say. The power of the unknown. The unknown. The more an individual believes on the unknown, the more your faith will grow, and the more you get closer into the Holy Trinity. The unknown. It is that path in which you don't know what will happen next, but you believe into it with your heart and your soul. That's how the heavens know that you are someone that they can count on. Many people in our society today identify a person that is loved by God or have a good life based on our visualistic, egocentric, outer apprehensions of wealth and power. But in spite the fact that those are not bad to have, it is also important to know that the divine being above is above the materialistic world. So You will not reach his kingdom through your wealth. The only way you can reach his kingdom is through your faith. It means through the trial that you're going to go through, and tribulation and temptation. There are different forms of wealth. There are physical wealth. You mean people who are here, they are billionaire in this earth, and there are also spiritual wealth. Materialistic wealth is temporary. Spiritual wealth is for eternity. And actually, spiritual wealth is what will lead you to join the one who created you in your next existence, maybe 70 years from now. So spiritual wealth is very important. But the way God have done it, he does not manifest spiritual wealth by money or by what you possess. What he does, he puts you into trial and tribulation and temptation so that he can level your faith to know if you can sacrifice what you love the most for his glory, so that you can have happiness tomorrow. But in the meantime, he will allow temptation to go through. It means he will monitor the attacks that Lucifer will do on you so that he can move you out of the normal energy pattern in which you were designed during the primordial thought of the creation of your spiritual structure. So that's one of the main goals. So, like I mentioned before, you can be in your wealthy situation and still be trial. You still gonna be trial. You're still gonna be under observation from the Creator, who's gonna be watching you in all your move. So that's the reason I'm speaking today about the power of the unknown. We have to know who is the Creator, what he does. Many of us think we know him, but we don't. We don't know how he operates. The path to his kingdom is to trial and suffering and sacrifice. There's no other way. If you go back into the beginning of time, when the New Testament was written, up to the New Testament, look all the prophet, everyone who came before us, all those people that serve God, all of them, only one person served God on the wealth that he didn't make itself. That person was Solomon. Any other person, God took them away from wherever situation they were in, either they were rich or poor, and bring them into trial, the pursuit of the unknown, and test them for years and decades. And those people, through their resilience and perseverance, were able to build their own wealth and spiritual wealth, their own wealth, materialistic wealth and spiritual wealth for eternity. Look, all the books. I'm not creating nothing. All those people created their wealth through trial and difficulty and challenges, fighting themselves, questioning God. This is a simplistic example in which we today have to know it is the same God. He will never going to change his principles, standard, laws. Those will be there for now until forever. You will be trial. in your time of blessing, you be trial of your time of when I say blessing, we are all blessed, but you go into trial of hardship or trial of halfness. When you are in halfness, it means that your spiritual pattern is in a route in which it was intended in a cosmic sphere. Now, cosmic sphere means the spiritual world. Now you're gonna go and talk to NASA. Look a lot, look a little bit what this guy's talking about. They're not gonna see nothing. Okay, it's a spiritual world. It's a world that is above this materialistic world, visualizing world. So, but as you are in that pattern, well aligned, you are in trial. God will allow Lucifer to tempt you, because Lucifer is going to try to take you out of that path. Because when you're out of that path, you're not anymore in harmony with you're not anymore in good harmony with the energy of the universe. So you're going to have all sorts of trouble. You're not going to receive all your beneficial astral benefits as it was designed. So that's why you're going to see a lot of trouble coming up, and that is what God is doing. If you resist when you have wealth, you resist, you're going to be off a little bit. But if you resist, you're going to be right back to where the pattern was, and all your trouble will go away, and you're going to have more of what you used to have before. If you already in trial of hardship, it means you already off that path, spiritual pattern. What God will allow Lucifer to do, He's going to allow Lucifer to try to keep you away from the normal path, in order to test your faith, to see if you can resist, and see your faith. If you can sacrifice your time, you can sacrifice certain stuff to take on your challenges, face on as it comes. So Lucifer will try to keep you where you are, so that you don't get into the normal patterns, so that you can be in harmony with the energy of the cosmos in a high sphere, so you can start receiving all your benefit accordingly. And that's why you see many people give up. And when I say people, they don't comprehend it. You give up, you kill yourself, you'll be sent back. Not in this form, but in different form, the way He designed it. Because you are in your eternal perfections. That is the reason why, when I say to people, what I'm saying here is true, and it comes straight from above the heavens. When Lucifer tempted, when Lucifer questioned God and said, God, those people are going to deceive you. Those people are going to deceive you. What Lucifer didn't know that God knew, or all the angels didn't know, was that God said to them, I know what you may not. What God was saying to Lucifer and the other angel was that, I know what I designed. You were created prior the space. The matter was created. I mean, you were created. Your spiritual matter was already made by primordial thought. So the plan that God had, Lucifer didn't saw that. It means people are occurring, those spiritual patterns are already designed, the spiritual gene are already designed in sequence. And every single sequence represents the time in which you appear in this earth, in a different form, different gender, whatever, in any different region. And that's why I didn't comprehend. God built what they call the algorithm and a model for perfection of eternal existence. I mean, you will reach that, your spiritual structure will reach that perfection at the end. And that's what God told Lucifer. He didn't know that. that I may know what you may not. And that was the challenge. And even to now, when God allows him to do what he's doing, he doesn't know that somebody is controlling both, because the power of God is above that. So when he's tempting you in your trial, he doesn't know that God is there protecting you. So that's what's happening. So he thought that was only a simplistic, but even though that he had the sense of knowing he can undermine your existence here, he can also undermine your existence in a supernatural world. But undermining your existence in the supernatural world is not really too much effective from him, because when you get there, if you have not reached your final destination, you're sent back in order for you to continue your path, and you will not come in the form that you used to be. You come in different form, the way that they designed it, and then somewhere else, based on the last point you left, and how it must be done in order for you to come back into the right pattern, energy pattern, the way it was designed at the primordial thought during the initial creation. God created everything. Everything. He created. Heaven was already created, because you need to have a place to be. Heaven was already made. He created names. He created numbers. And then he created time. And when he created time, he created matter. And when he created matter, we are part of matter. Our spiritual structure is a matter in a high sphere. And when he created space, and he injected matter to proceed with what we see today. So that algorithm was already done in a certain way so that he can complete his project. So we are here now. You are sitting there, and you have to make sure that you do good. And that is the reason why you have to trust into the unknown. Every single person who observes God, that the Bible that people are reading, they're talking about the Bible, they can provide you with all the act, revelation, Roman chapters and verses. They can say, but they don't comprehend what they're reading. God have tested every single person into that book. They left the wealth and enter a series of poverty for decades and become wealthy with their own work in accordance to God's plan. It means God monitor the finance spiritually. Your finance is monitored. It's monitored to a spiritual algorithm and structure from above. They choose leaders. They choose people who have to serve the government. They have a government over there that oversees all government in all the universe and galaxies. Including Earth. They choose who's going to be leader. They choose who's going to be in what position. They know everybody's life. They know what you need, what you don't need. They know your problems more than yourself. So the power of the unknown. This is Solomon's, the only one in the Bible who didn't went from suffering, that God didn't take out of what he possessed and bring him to the desert, because that's why God liked the desert. You know what I mean? When you're in the desert, you look around, what do you see? You tell me. You see sand, right? What do you see? Somebody else? You see none. You look up and down. None. God liked the desert. That's why he put more of these people. Even Jesus Christ went to the desert because he knows that's where he's going to find out who you are. Because many people like to talk, they talk, but they cannot walk the talk. But when God puts you in the desert, that's why when you're going to start cursing his name without knowing, because of the pain of the flesh. That's why you're going to realize how sweet it is, God, that you've been praying every single day. You see? So the point is here is that Solomon was the only one. But how did I end up with Solomon? He didn't even end up well. Solomon was wise. He was wise, but he was lacking. With all the respect I have for him, I'm saying the truth here. He was lacking the humility. He was lacking humility. That's the only thing that broke his covenant with God. He was wise, but he was lacking humility. The wisdom was given, but he rejected humility out of that wisdom. And most of us do the same. He thought that with the money he possessed, he can overturn God's decision. He can do whatever he want to do because he was wise, because God gave him wisdom. Do you know the reason why he came up with the word vanity of vanity? All is vanity. Do you know why he said that? Many people say that they don't know why. Many people say that they don't know why. It's because he have enormous wealth. Now, when he start doing what they call his experimentation. He wanted to understand God. He started studying other gods. When actually God say, do not pray in any other God other than me. That was already the first violation right there. But he say he wanted to understand who God is. He don't understand, because when God start putting situation in your life, like I told you before, you are in perfect harmony, and he let Lucifer do his work. And you start understanding, who are these God that I've been praying, but I still have problems. I don't understand this. So you start studying philosophy, you start studying other religion to understand him. And you become mixed up, confused. And God come and warn you, you still don't want to understand what he's saying. So okay. He said to Solomon, all right, no problem. Your direct descendant will not be the ruler of Israel. Solomon said, but you're kidding. What the heck are you talking about? So he asked God who? God said it will be one of the seven that you took out of nowhere, will help you build the temple that I will put in your place. Solomon said, blasphemy, God. What the heck is this? You see what I mean? So he didn't understand. So even after that, he said, okay, I'm not going to let this happen. You put all this money and power. You have to go after this guy and kill him. Arrest him, bring him to me here, and he's going to be in prison. He's going to swear to me that he's going to work for me, or either he's going to be killed. God said, all right, no problem, my friend. Go ahead. In the meantime, God was already working with the guy. He didn't have any money. Simple Joe, working as a second-hand commander. They talk from a among the simple Mason people to work, and because of his intelligence, he was upgraded to a certain position there. But he didn't really have any money or any position in a society. But he was faithful and he believed in God, just like that, out of nowhere. So he went to Egypt. He went to Egypt. And he was guided by angel appearing all the way. We're going to let you know the time when to return. Solomon sent people around the world just for that guy. They could not find him. So when the time came, now suffering, desert. That's God testing area right there. The desert. Yeah. So now when the time came, God sent other angel to appear as form of man and say, hey, it's time for you now to move back. He said, God, but I have nothing. How do I gonna go there and talk to that powerful man? I mean, they won't kill me. Well, God said to him, just believe. Just believe. I already told him. God said to him, I'm giving you 12 scrap that he tear from one of the clothes and say, these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and you will have 10 and he will only have 2. But this can only be applied if you go and talk to him and ask him for reconciliation and ask him to reduce the taxes into the people so that he can serve the poor. He can help the poor, not to pay too much taxes. He already have too much money. If he refused to do that, therefore you say, this is the word of God, and so be it, and you gave him those 2 stripes and you leave the place. So the guy went over there, all courage. Just imagine, you're looking for someone, and after years, decade, you sitting on your throne, and what you hear, somebody want to have audience with you, and it's actually the person that you try to kill for the last 30 years. Just imagine how stone you're gonna be. You're gonna be proud to let him in. He let him in. The guy came courage with the 12 tribe strap in his hand. He said exactly what he was told to say. I'm requesting you to reduce the taxes for the poor. Solomon said, who are you to come and talk to me that way? I taught you from nothing, and I brought you to where you are so you can eat a little bit. Now you try to defeat me. You try to come after me. Who do you think you are? The guy said to him, it's not me, it's God who is choosing who he have to place where and what they have to do. It's not me. If it was up to me, I didn't want this, but I cannot run more away from the destiny he have plenty for me, so I have to follow this. It's not a choice. Solomon understood that because Solomon was told like that about him, so he knew this is serious business. So the guy said, are you willing to reconcile with me and reduce the taxes for all the 12 tribes so that it can help the poor to equilibrate their earning? Solomon said, no, I will not. He asked him 3 times, said no. So what happened? The guy said, all right, because you said no, you will not any longer be the king of all Israel, but you're only going to be the king of only two provinces or tribe of Israel. And these are your two tribes. He called away, close to the king, big king. You go, he's a palace, and everybody's wondering. And he was told, as soon as he do that, turn his back and don't turn back. Keep going out. And Solomon said to the God, arrest this man. And everybody was looking at Solomon like they didn't even hear what he said. And that was the power of God working right there. And the guy left the place. And when Solomon died, his son only got the two tribes that God predicted and predetermined. And when Solomon was dying, he went to his room with all the gold. He was drinking wine in gold and eating in gold. He took all the clothes, good clothes that he used to wear, put it aside. He wear filthy clothes. He took all the gold that he used to drink, he took it away. He said, God has proven me that I am nothing, even with everything I have possessing this earth. God proved him that it's not because of your materialistic wealth that you can think you're above the one who created you. And when he realized it, he said, all those gold plates, they are all vanity. All those clothes, they are all vanity. He was thrown that away. He became a madman. And he said, all vanity, vanity of vanity, everything is vanity. That's the only thing he could say. Because he said, I don't comprehend with all the wealth and power I have. I could not change a simple situation like this. He stayed in his word. He didn't want to change it till the day he died. And let me tell you, you know what Solomon does in the kingdom of God? Do you know what he does over there? God is a person who don't change his word. He was blessed and God keep his word. He have access to the third kingdom. Do you know what he does in a kingdom of God? Do you know what Solomon does over there? Solomon is the chief of the restaurant in heaven to serve the poor. That's what he does in heaven. And that position will be there for eternity. Because on earth, he refused to do a simple thing, to follow God's advice to help the poor. He wanted to increase the taxes so that the poor, he can suck up everything from the poor. God says, no problem. I am even giving you those two tribes, not because of you, but because of your father, David. He was my good servant. And I'm even going to accept you into my kingdom, not because of you, but because of your father, David. But this is what you're going to do in my kingdom. So he's the chief in a restaurant to manage how to serve the people over there. That's his work. If you go, you will see, you go there, you will see, they'll say, look, this guy is Solomon. He'll be serving you. That is who God is. And that is the power of the unknown. And I'm saying to people today that those who don't want to understand the humility that God possesses, they wanted to keep the chair they have, they wanted to keep the power they have, they wanted to over dominate the poor, they wanted to underestimate, undermine people's existence. To be aware of the power of the person who created everything and who placed all leaders in place. What I'm saying is not an imagination. This is the truth that is written in a holy book that everybody's praying. And I didn't add anything, I didn't subtract anything. Everything I say is completely true. And that's how God operates. No one knows tomorrow. No one knows what God will bring tomorrow in your life. As long as you're still breathing in this earth, do not declare victory. Because you can have the most heaviest tribulation of your life in your late time in this earth. Okay, it can come at any moment. I do not expect people to comprehend my problems or where I come from exclusively if they have never walked that path. I'll say people, I understand. I've been there. I've done it. I done all of it. I understand. No, you don't. You don't. Situations can look similar, but they are not the same. I want people to remember that. Because a lot of people have not been there. I done it. I done that. I've been there. I done that. No, you're not. Your situation can look similar to someone, but it's not the same. Why it's not the same? Because every single person in this earth have a specific purpose. And if you have a specific purpose, you're going to have specific trial. If you have a specific trial, you're going to have specific temptation and specific tribulation that is only assigned to you specifically. So someone cannot come and say, I've been there, I've done it, do like I did. You'll be surprised that it might not even work, because you are not him, he is not you. You don't have the same purpose. The way we were designed, God designed for different purpose to do in this earth. It's not coming here after the rich or after the poor or after people who are making money. What I'm saying here is about humility that we are lacking. That's the reason why Jesus Christ said what he said. It's easy for a small hermit to get into the gate of heaven than a wealthy man. He was not talking about wealth. He was talking about humility. Because if you're a poor man and you don't have humility, you're gonna end up in the other side, or you're gonna be admitted into heaven shamefully. And when you get into that word, there is no option. You don't have an option that say go left. You say no, I don't want to go left, I want to go right. Your option is your earth. So it is very necessary for people to know that we have to believe on the unknown. I do believe on the unknown. I have worked my life for years believing on the unknown. When you are born, sent into this earth. Everything was already designed, predetermined, and planned. You come in this earth with a folder, spiritual folder. The only person who know about what is inside is God. Lucifer can look, but he cannot really tell what is inside. When you're growing up, your folder start unfolding, and it unfold step by step, not completely. What was written that you will possess, what was written where you're going to go through, start unfolding. That's the reason why people are very confused when they start seeing a transformation of people in the future. They say, we didn't know this person like this. It's because that is how God designed this. You will not know the person, and to that person, complete journey is over. That's where you can sit down and give a complete picture of that person specifically. The person is born, he's there. The person um, gonna go grow up, start having consciousness. Through his consciousness, he's gonna start understanding his true nature through what? Difficulties and challenges. And every time he grows, his folder is unfolding. And at a specific time, you're going to start seeing stuff that you have never seen before. Because it was written to be that way. I see people there sitting down, oh, well, I don't know exactly what you're doing. Yeah, I made the decision by myself. I know exactly what I'm doing. Really, you do know exactly what you're doing because they program you to do that. You say, how come God program us? How does he do that? This is the thing. Your folder is already written. So everything that is written in there is what's going to happen. Because we are here for his eternal purpose. We just don't know it. And that's what people who have higher eyesight, and Lucifer is saying, what do God do that to you? You have option to say no to him. You can decide to make your own destiny. No one lied to you. There is no two destiny. There is only one. And I'm bringing all the religion together, and I can prove it, I can challenge them. There's only one destiny. When you are born, what is written in your folder is based on a divine concept of the initial primordial thought of the creation of the spiritual structure. All the folder of all humankind have a main target being aligned with the patterns in which it was designed to be, based on fate and karma, and you can call after that heaven and hell based on this specific genome journey. So when people are praying, either you Buddhism or either you practice Hinduism, they're saying you can make your own destiny. Actually, they're saying you can keep yourself into the pattern in which it was designed. Because when you are in that pattern, you are in harmony. The energy you are repeating, or the energy that you are releasing from your aura, is in perfect harmony with the energy of the universe. And that's actually the way God designed your destiny. So there's only one destiny. When you are in trial and in temptation, and you start making those decisions based on the flesh and the pain, You are going off that path, and you start having problems. You are in the process of the same destiny, but on trial and temptation. Very much tribulation, which is trial and temptation. Trial come from God and temptation from Lucifer. They all come all together, and God is the one who's controlling all of those. So you are living your life in this earth. I am asking people to help the poor and work for peace. The poor are very important into the eyes of God. It is the reason why when He opened the faucet of your wealth and money into specific people into this earth, it's not for them to get that money for themselves. Otherwise, they're going to end up like Solomon over there. I'm not saying that his situation is worse. There are people who have more worse situation than that. I would prefer that than going to hell into that genome form. All right, his situation is not worse. I mean, he have an occupation. Okay, yeah, people who make wealth in this earth that are director of what they call hospitality and restoration and restaurants, and they're making big amount of money. So it's the same thing. But the way I reflect it is based on his position that he used to have on earth. Because people think, oh, he was a leader here in heaven, also going to be a leader. Wrong assumption. Wrong assumption. There's only two leaders over there, God and Jesus Christ. Any other person are only there to follow the direction. Either you were a leader of the leader here in this earth. When you leave that, when your time comes, the way they design it, you go over there, you're gonna realize how small you are, because the kind of world you're gonna see that you have never seen before, the way things goes, the knowledge you never had. Only that will tell you where you are and what you're supposed to do in order for you to proceed. You're gonna see money they do have, power they do have, humility they do have, beauty they do have, health they do have, beautiful women they do have. So what else you gonna bring over there that they don't? None. You'll bring it to humility by yourself. They call it self-transformation by intent. I don't have any choice. Okay, so that's why you have to believe on the unknown. The more you believe on the unknown, the more your faith will grow, and the more you will be connected into the divine trinity, into the divine being. I have people talking about salvations. I have people talking about sanctification. Let me tell you, let me clarify this. There is no salvation without sanctification. You will not, like I said to you before, the path into the God that you pray is to trial and suffering. Either you have hardship or harvest, you will go into trial and temptation, and you're gonna have to prove yourself. You will not live this life without having situation that will come into your life that you have never imagined to have. You go to that. Everything that you do is because, or everything that is done to you is because God wants that to happen to you. In order to correct your energy patterns according to the divine plan. When your spiritual structure was created in the primordial thought, in the beginning of all. Many people are saying, I'm strong. He's strong. Oh, he have a, he's very strong. He's strong, man. Who told you somebody's strong? If the existence of man was depending only on man because it's strong, we're gonna accept to die. You tell me. If dying was an option, you tell me we're gonna accept to die in this earth. That's the only way I can prove you. Somebody is not healthy or strong by itself. Because if you were strong and healthy by yourself, you should be able to live in this earth forever. That is the only truth. Therefore, if you cannot prove it, that you can live in this earth forever, therefore, your strength and health do not come from you. It comes from the person, from an entity that created you, from a being that's superior to you that created you. Your strength comes from there. But it also have to be monitored by you in the physical, because your soul is integrated into your flesh. So in order for that soul to be in good harmony with that flesh, you have to maintain that flesh. You have to make sure that the flesh is healthy. So you have to eat well, you have to exercise well, you have to do some spiritual and cosmic consciousness maneuver every single time. You have to rest well. You have to get some good vitamins, good for your health according to your specificity, and then that's what you got to do. So this the part you have to do in order for them to do their part. That's why my equation of health, model of health, is very important. Everyone can do it, regardless your age, your gender, your race, your ethnicity, your culture, your belief, and your social economic status. You can do that. All right? So you have to see and believe on the unknown. People are talking about, oh well, let's talk about God. Okay, God, I can feel God near me. You can feel God near you because your heart have some barrier. Your heart is not propelling the good energy that can be in harmony with the way God designed. You have to remove that darkness. The darkness they're talking about. Because when they talk about darkness, people think that dark light. No. Darkness mean. Let me explain to you what darkness mean. When you start envying somebody else, when you start jealousing somebody else, when you don't want the progress of somebody else, when you don't have any compassion, when you're faking your compassion, when you're faking your love, when you're faking everything that is good, because many of us doing that, that's darkness. That's going away from light, and many people don't know that. Because when you do that, you are not praising the true God. You are praising the God of darkness. You are praising the God of envy. You are praising the God of jealousy. You are praising the demoniac God of jealousy, the demoniac God of envy, the demoniac God of 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 uh, of hate, of no love, because that's what it is. You're gonna see somebody say, "God, I hate this guy." Please don't. If you've been saying that, stop using the name of God for stuff like that. Say, "I do, me, hate this guy." Don't put his name there, because he's not. It's applied to me myself, and I make sure I don't. When you start doing fooling stuff, don't use Jesus Christ's name or God's name on the stuff. Take full responsibility and move on with that. Because I see people, they want to fake stuff and they start using God's name because they want to look good. Don't fake. They don't like it. This is one thing that they don't like. Be yourself and speak the truth, and do not fake yourself. There are certain people who are themselves. The way you are, you're never gonna lie. You're never gonna hide it. I am an observer. If I see a person acting a certain way for 1 year, trust me, I will never gonna question that person, because I knew that's the way he was created. But I have people around here who believe when somebody is acting a certain way for more than 4 years, they still believe the person is fake. It's not faking. That's the way it was created. If the person is acting like it's Bill Gates, that's the way it was created. Maybe God want him to learn for something to be wherever he's supposed to be. That's the way God created that person. I have my kid tomorrow. I have my kid today. They ask me a question about life. I'll say to them, believe in God and believe in yourself. I don't want you to truly believe in me because I'm still a sinner. I want you to use what I'm telling you and integrate that into your faith in accordance to God and your self-understanding. Moving onward. That is the best way to use and to educate a generation, because we didn't create those folks. We were part of the process. At a certain point, God is the one who designed those folks. Pretty much, when those folks come in this earth, they already have everything written. Everything decision that you're making as the parent look like you the one making decision, but it's based on what is already written according to that person coming. That is there. That is the reality, and that's the truth. You want to accept it or you don't want to accept it. That truth will come in front of you tomorrow, after 10 years, after 20 years, after 30 years, after 50 years, into the end of your time in this earth, and you're going to remember what I said today. Because that's going to be it. You're going to see your child growing up, and he will sing in front of you, clear and net. He's going to say to you, I used to do this thing because I was young. This is what I want to do now. This, and when he start doing that, that is called aspiration, and that is a magnetic force from above based on his unfolding journey that is asking him to act like that, because it is time for him to move. He's following a journey. That's already written. Like you, the father or the parent or mother, is following your own journey. So that's the so the best thing is to give them a form of education or discipline, moderate disciplines, in according to God's standards and principle and law, that will help them polish their own journey as it is written. That's what it is. Now, I'm going into relationship. I was talking about last time about the way God made a female and male in terms of the way they behave, in terms of the way they like stuff and they don't like stuff. Why God created them differently? Because He wants every single one to learn from another. Just imagine this question, this hypothesis. What happened if God created everyone the same? There will be nothing new that somebody gonna bring this earth. We all gonna be rolling around like people who are lost. There will be nothing new because everybody know the same thing. Everybody do the same thing. The world will not progress. So you have to bring people with differentiation. The way they act, the way they think, the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they do stuff, the way they proceed stuff, the way they process informations. So the men and the women are different for that purpose of complementarity. Onward. In a chromosomes of the XX that is possessed by the female, the difference between, the only difference between a man and a woman is the Y chromosome. Both chromosomes, either male or female, have the same excretion of the DNA molecules. It means when you look at the DNA molecule of a female, she have the two pair of chromosome of her. She have two pair of chromosome. One is X from her, from one of her, from her mother, and the other X is for the father. The X from the mother have two DNA molecules. Those two DNA molecules come from where? Come from either one of the pair of chromosome of her mother. And then the other X chromosome she have come from where? The father. And the DNA molecule that compose that second X chromosome is composed of what? Of one DNA of the X chromosome of the father and another DNA from the Y chromosome of the father. So she possesses the Y chromosome of the father DNA, but is not dominant. It's recessive because the X chromosome is dominant. So she possesses that. The male also possesses the same kind of DNA. So the only difference is that Y dominance that makes the differentiation between the male and female and the way they express themselves to differentiate them in terms of hormones. Now, in terms of relationship, the XX chromosome produces an hormone that is called oxytocin. The XY chromosome also produces the same thing, but in a lower amount. The XX chromosome, the feminist chromosome, produces more oxytocins. And oxytocins is the relationship chromosome, hormones. That's the reason why I said last time, a woman through her specificity, are, sen- are sensitive, women are sensitive to sensuality because of that oxytocin hormone that they have within them. When a woman look at you, she don't see sex right away. She sees relationship. She sees a companionship. She sees a husband and kids, a good house, stuff like that. Can look good. It's not because of the way many women think, because they don't understand. It's the oxytocin level that is making them act like that. That's the way they were designed. In the same time, they also wanted to look attractive, not for sex, but to value the body, to value who they are. That's also another part of the oxytocin. Now, the oxytocin is very high, and that's why they are very sensitive into sensuality. And they can also be very good spiritually because of that oxytocin. But many women don't know that. They have that fault of not trusting on the unknown too much. They have the fear of crossing on the unknown because they like security. And security cannot come from something that is not concrete. So women don't like stuff that are not concrete. That is another part of oxytocin, relationship wise. But they can be good transmitter with the spiritual world, with God. Because that's the way they were designed. They were created by God Himself. And He did it for a purpose. They represent number 2, which is the second place. Which is, when I say second place, is numerology. I'm not talking about second place of dominance. No, I'm talking about second place in terms of how God created numbers. And numbers is linked to the way we were created, the way we act. And God is called number 1 is man. And God is a man. People say before God is a man and feminist. No, a woman, no, he's a man. Okay? So that's the way it is. The point now with male is that the way God created them, the XY chromosome don't release a lot of oxytocin, but it does release a lot of oxytocin in a level of a female after sex. That's the way God designed it. So a man will feel more in relationship with a partner after the sex. Now, people are going to say, why do God do something like that? But that's the truth. If a male after sex says something that is suitable to you, 2 times, 3 times, don't think he's lying. He's telling you the truth because that's the way the body functions. His level of oxytocin increase, and now he's in the same level as you in terms of relationship wise. Now, the point is, you can overpass it. When you reach a certain level of spiritual and cosmic consciousness, you can overpass that level of oxytocin and still be in a level of understanding the feminist and the feminist understanding the masculine. The point is, certain people are missing that part. Why do God men act like that? Only look for sex, and they don't look for relationship. No, it's the way God designed them. The point that you have to let them know, you have to understand that differentiation I just made. Oxytocin. So a man with a lower level of oxytocin have a sensitivity to sexuality, and after sexuality his level of sensitivity become sensual. He have more affection because the level of oxytocin have increased in his body. That's what you're going to see when you have a man have a better sexual satisfaction. He's more likely to act well in his household compared to the female side. If she had a better relationship with her male in terms of talking, arranging the house, make the house look good, taking care of the kid, making stuff, a lot of stuff, talking a little bit, she's gonna have very peaceful relationship with the male. But now the problem is, how can they make sure that they understand each other in terms of my level of oxytocin is low and I need that in order for my level to increase so I can be happy. It will demand a certain quality of spiritual and cosmic consciousness calling, because it's not avoidable. And that's many of the problem that people are facing in relationship, in marriages, in everything. And God created that for a reason. And you're going to say why God created that? Jesus Christ was alive. He was not a sex maniac. If Jesus Christ was not a sex maniac, Moses, all of those people, it's because they reached a certain level where they bypassed that by doing what? Spiritual and cosmic consciousness, and they understood who they are, and were able to bypass the that testosterone level that make men to be attracted to sexuality in order for them to have some affection to the partner. This is the truth. It is provable even in clinical trial, in medicine, everywhere. I'm not talking crazy stuff here, and I'm pretty sure many people out there know what I'm saying is true. I can sense it, and I know you know it's true. But the point is, you have to accept it the way it is. You know, you have to work it out. But really, it is not being used as a feminist just because you need to have sex for my partner to have his level of oxytocin to be normal in order for him to be in good relationship with me. It does not make sense. Well, in the other end, you also have to see he have to accommodate with your own satisfaction. Talk to you, taking care of the kid, making sure that your house look good, because women like when their house look good, when they have good car, when things look good from outside, very good. That at the level, that's oxytocin talking, reflection. Relationship must be secure, protected, contrite. See, men don't really look that way because of the level of oxytocin very low. They have more tendency of that sexuality. Now, when a person stays longer in a relationship where the relationship of sex is satisfied, you will see that peace. Not even too much of of sex because the level of oxytocin will be maintained. The level of oxytocin will be maintained. Therefore, he will not need too much sex anymore to satisfy that level. If there's a frequency in that relationship. So now you're going to see how the relationship, you're going to be surprised as a woman, like, hey, this guy have changed a little bit. What's going on here? It's because of that, because the level of oxytocin have increased, and because there's certain frequency in your sexual world that make him maintain that level and maintain that relationship and do certain stuff. But now the man also and the woman must be involved in meditation, in spirituality and cosmic consciousness awareness. Sorry about that, regurgitating. So you have to know that. So people gonna ask me, how do you know all this stuff? We don't see you too much with women around and stuff. Well, I did it a lot. I did it too many women. I did it beautiful women around. I did it different kind of women in my life. So, and then also in time I have studied hard and I know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? It's not what people are talking that they know me. That they know me. We know him. He know us. They don't know me. You don't see them here. Oh yeah, yeah. We know him. We used to work with him. We used to do stuff together. Do stuff together with whom? How many people you saw here coming in this house? They're there doing their own thing based on the jealousy and madness, and they start talking about they know me. They don't know me. They're supposed to tell you we don't like him instead of saying we know him. They're talking stuff. Hey, listen, I got people that I just want to ask you a question. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to read. I know you do. Go and read my CV on my website. It's very clear. I don't gonna talk too much. My CV is very clear. Like everybody else in this world, what you put in your CV must be positive. What you put on your CV must be positive. Everyone in this world remove everything that is negative. There's no one who can say different than what I just mentioned. So what I did in that CV, I polish it and I remove what's supposed to be out of it, so I can move on positively in my life. It's the same thing with God. In order to move on with Him, you have to take all the negativity away. You cannot be there having negativity and keep saying, God, please help me. You the one who have to do that. Oh yeah, I'm taking drugs. Oh, I'm smoking. Oh, I'm drinking too much. God, please help me. God gonna come and take the bottle out of your hand, or cigarette out of your hand, or drug out of your hand. You the one who have to make that transformation. You are faking with God. You are doing faking stuff, and then you going out there and present yourself as, I'm a follower of God. So my CV was done accordingly. I walk in the script path. I talk some of the stuff out. I contact all institution, ask them everything that need to be done. I understood what need to be put in place, and I polish it the way it is. Moving onward. When I talk about negativity, I'm talking about things that cannot be used for certain reason, or things that are not relevant. You take it out and you go with things that are relevant, things that can allow you to move forward. So that's what I'm saying to people. Read my CV very carefully and stop criticizing me and stop looking, why do I supposed to receive this? Because many people think they knew me. When I say to people, you don't know me. I want you to wait for my book to know the true story about me. You wanted to listen to people, you wanted to listen to people's story, it's your problem. I'm not there. I'm not here to try to change the way you think. You can think whatever you want to think. But what I'm saying is my story is the true story. You want to listen to other people's story, you go and listen. They are not me. They don't know what I've done. They are not with me 100 like 24 hours a day, 100 days per 100 days. They are not with me. I'm the only one with God who know the true detail about myself. Yeah, I'm walking with the guy. You know, I used to give him command. He used to be under me. Just listen to what you just say. Past tense. Past tense. Used to. Move on, fellow. Move on, brother. It's too much retarding manifesta. Okay? We have to forward ourselves. Tomorrow will show up with its own reality. And after that, tomorrow after tomorrow will show up with its own reality. Stop talking about the reality of yesterday. The reality of yesterday was for that yesterday. It will not repeat itself. It might look similar, but it will not be the same. All right? So that's the point. That's what I'm mentioning here. And I wanted to help many people out there, those who have listened to what I said about oxytocins and female and male relationship. It will help a lot of people. It will help a lot of people. People don't know that. You know, they think when you're not in the same path with people, you're gonna think that something's wrong with them. But nothing is wrong with them. You have to understand human physiology. But there are certain people who have sickness within some of the way, the thing, or the expression they were made of. It is them to challenge those obstacles and make them normal. It's not because you have sensitivity to sexuality that you have to become a kind of stalker or a kind of maniac of sex. You have to be able to control your emotion, and your subconscious have to dominate your emotion, because your emotion do not come from your subconscious. Your emotion come from your conscience, and your conscience is the moral set of your natural mind, is the reasoning of your natural mind. Your subconscious is the reasoning of your spiritual mind, which is your true self, which is the truth. And your emotion always appear instantly, because that's your expression of the flesh. But the subconscious never reveals itself instantly. It waits when it's calm and choose a moment to reveal its true self and truth. You know, so you have to make sure that your emotion do not dominate your subconscious. That's very important. Oh, I see that guy. I see that guy. I see that guy yesterday. He was very awesome. I think that's the guy. Who told you that's the guy? That was your flesh. But if it's really down, your subconscious is gonna tell you either it's possible or not. And some of the time, our conscience say, no, no, it will work. It's not completely true. That's actually your flesh try to satisfy something that you want to do. And it's telling you it will work, and you believe it will work, and then you go out there and it doesn't work, you start hating the world. I thought he liked me. I thought she liked me. Who told you he liked you? God came in front of you and told you that? That was your conscience, that was your emotional expression, and then you make a decision and it comes right back to you the way it was made. So it's very important to be very posed. You can smile, you can look people, just smile, but when you go back, then just don't reject people at all. Don't reject people, just you can smile, but you know exactly that I think about it, my subconscious will tell me. So that's the thing that we have to get today. Now learning, I cover many things. We have to maintain our health. We have to protect our health. We have to make sure, because our health is our hope. You're not healthy, you don't have no chance of survival. I try to put myself healthy so that I can be able to perform my consulting work, because I have people out there who say, this guy, he's not able to enjoy the thing of his life. He's very concealed. He's in jail. He's. Let me tell you. Every time I go and say, I say to people, you don't know me, my friend. You don't know me. You don't know me. You see, I just change voice to tell you don't know me. The point is this: I make decision. Either I can stay in my house, either I can go out. There's nothing blocking me here to enjoy my life. Therefore, I am missing nothing because I made a choice. If you're so concerned about my isolations, I believe you can fulfill the spot. It's all open. And at the end of the conversation, have a good night. Who told you I want to have your good night? My night has always been good. Maybe your presence can even make it worse. Who knows? So you come there with your kind of nice from outside and have some sorrow inside. Who did this guy like? What doesn't like me? You come and talk to me, and I'll let you know if I like you or not. Don't stay in a distance and start imagining stuff. Oh, I'm a female. He's the one who have to come to me and stuff like that. Who told you that? Do you ever look when God created Adam and Eve? That Luciferic thing that he bring in this earth. What does he do? He do to Adam. He say, Adam, by the time you wake up, you're gonna have your companionship around you, beside you. When he was sleeping, he made Eve from the bones of Adam. And he said to Eve, this your guy. When Adam wake up, do Eve was sitting 10 miles away? She was just sitting around him. She was sitting just beside. It doesn't matter. You like a man, move on. Go and talk to him. A man like a woman, move on. Go and talk to him. End of story. This thing, I'm a male and female, I have to move and stuff like that. Who told that somebody? I understand the female body is complicated. Well, the man body is also complicated in certain way, my friend. If everybody want to go with complication, people can create complication. It's about humility and move on. A package do not come perfect. Like I mentioned before, the XX chromosome live longer than the XY chromosome. That's part of the package. So don't come and say the woman body is more complicated than the man body. You live longer. Is good and bad in a package. But the thing that can make it good is humility. It's humility. Have humility. All these things are just a form of flesh and ego. If a man wanted to love you, he gonna love you despite the way you feel. Either you come to him, either you don't. He will love you. If somebody don't want to love you, either you come to him or you don't, he will not love you. So it doesn't matter who go to who first. What is more important here is the truth and humility. The truth and humility and understanding how the oxytocin function. And right away, women supposed to be even more advanced in that. They have the oxytocin that allow them for relationship. Men are not good in relationship because the level of oxytocin is so low. I just said that before. So it should even be reversed. So women supposed to teach men how to have relationship. But I am the man sitting here and talking about that. It doesn't make sense. Or maybe because I bypass it through spiritual and cosmic consciousness. I'm sorry. I forgot to say that to you. So the power of the unknown. God is there with you. God has always been there around you. I am not a priest. I am not a fanatic of God. I am a messenger of speaking the truth. The world is moving into its unfolding destination. Earth destination is unfolding, as well as your destination is unfolding. Earth destination will go through many of our destinations to reach his final destination. Like I mentioned last week, that is an important point. You have to believe and trust into the word and power of the Almighty Elohim Yahweh. You have to believe and trust into the gospel and power of Adonai Messiah Yeshua. You have to believe and trust into the power and work of the Holy Spirit, the infinite intelligence, the cosmic intelligence, the divine intelligence. the infinite and cosmic intelligence and the higher knowledge and intelligence. You have to believe in that. And it can only be done through your faith on the unknown. The more you will believe on the unknown, the more your faith will rise, the more your faith will rise, and the more you will be close into God. When you pray, because I heard people talk too much. If you wanted to determine, they say that I talk too much, but I talk what is necessary, even if it lasts for long. Because I know when I pray, I can manifest the Holy Spirit. I can make the Holy Spirit move around. People come and talk about this passage and this passage, but the prayer cannot leave the ceiling of their house. If you are in that category, you must know something is wrong, because at the end it's all about it. You can study all the book, you can read all the book in that Bible, in that holy book. Either you're Jew or you are always a Muslim, or you are a Christian, or you are whatever religion you practice. If you cannot move the Holy Spirit around, there's something wrong. It doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are in that Bible or holy book. At the end, is a personal relationship with the Holy Trinity. That's what matters. You never see when people die, they all go together. It's always one person after one person, one person after one person. Everybody go in his own turn. So, personal relationship with the divine being, that's the route. All right. So, before I close this statement, I would like to release through the power of God, release a blessing of peace and the blessing of harvest to the poor around the world, and also the reduction to diseases that are killing people around the world. In the name of the one I believe and trust, Elohim Yahweh, the one I believe and trust, Adonai Yeshua, Messiah Yeshua, and into the power and work of the Holy Spirit, I believed and trust. So be the command of the Holy Trinity. And now I would like you to go into my website and www.angelhmadefoundit.org, or you can also reach me at Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google Plus, iReport, Medspace, Instagram, and you can make donation in the website. Your donation will go straight and will be publicized to the IRS 990 form that can be retrieved from the IRS public charity site. And then it's not the money that will go in my pocket. It doesn't work that way, because many people think like that. We don't want this guy to have money, so we don't gonna give none. It's not my money. It's money to help the poor. And that money have to be uh, monitored and to be bringing to light through the IRS, and so that procedure can be done for tax payments and registration. The company, with the blessing of God already blessed, is moving into a new era of medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology programs. And the company is needing partner and money to build into that step. Gabriel and Daikon will be forming an alliance with high educated people as well as any other person who have a high intuition to be part of the team that will transform the world and the healthcare system in the future. I'll be poised to embrace anyone who want to work. People think it's a joke, but I don't joke, my word. I mean what I said. I better fail into this state, and people will say after me that he was trying to do something and he failed, instead of saying he was doing something and he quit. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. I am a pressing forward persona. All right. So I don't want you to believe in what I said, but I want you to believe in the opportunity you wanted to give. Respect to God, principle, standing law, or respect to your own belief, or loyalty to your own understanding of the rationality of resonance and reasoning. All right. So thank you very much, and may God, Creator, the High Architect, and the High Power of all the universe, bless all of us. Thank you very much, and have a decent week and good week.